Dear brothers and sisters, as you know, there are conditions for the prayers, for the daily prayers. For example, in order to pray, we must know the direction of Al-Qibla. Muslims used to, and they are still using compasses to determine the direction of Al-Qibla, the direction of Al-Kaaba in Mecca al-Mukarramah. Also, we need a map to know where we are in this world and thus to determine the direction of Al-Qibla. In order to pray, we must purify ourselves, perform tahara. We must perform ablution and maybe ghusl, having a shower. And our clothes must be clean and pure. Having clean water is a prerequisite for performing the 5 daily prayers. Going to water sources, whether it is the sea, the river, etc., several times a day will be very inefficient for the Muslims. It will be very difficult. It would take a lot of time, of their time and effort, to go and bring the water back and forth every day. Hence, it would be easier to build infrastructure in order to deliver water to homes or any sort of establishments. And there must be a sewage network to drain the used water. Men should perform the 5 daily prayers in the masjid. So we need to build mosques. When the muezzin calls for the prayer, he tries his best to make his voice reach the maximum number of people within the largest possible geographical area. Perhaps he would want to find a way, a method to amplify his voice. And in order for worshippers to be able to come to the masjid to perform the prayers, especially the night prayers, Maghrib, Isha and Subh, they need some street lighting. In order to fast the month of Ramadan, we have to know when the new moon of Ramadan will start and when it will end. Perhaps we need to do some calculations in order to know when it will be possible to sight the crescent, as the Prophet ﷺ advised us to do, in order to determine the beginning and the end of Ramadan or any lunar month. Zakat and inheritance, mirath, distribution of mirath, need mathematical calculations. So when you want to calculate your zakat on your money every year, or if someone in the family dies and leaves money, perhaps the Muslim would need to grab a piece of paper and pen, or maybe the calculator, to make the calculations, how much each person will deserve from this inheritance. Wherever we are in the world, we must travel to reach Mecca al-Mukarramah, the honored Mecca, in order to perform the pilgrimage Hajj at least once in our lifetime. Muslims may have been looking for a safe and easy methods to travel to Mecca. This would encourage them to develop means of transportation that will serve this purpose. The sacred mosque in Mecca al-Mukarramah needs good infrastructure, water facilities and hotels to accommodate the large number of Hajjaj pilgrims. So what is the purpose of all of this sort of background? It aims to note the strong relationship between the pillars of Islam and other Islamic rulings, of course, and duties on one hand, and all sorts of essential sciences and knowledge which contribute to civilization and to human development. So there is a strong bond between the two. In order to perform our Islamic duties, the 5 pillars, learning Quran, doing all sorts of Islamic duties, we need to have ilm, we need to have knowledge, and we need to establish the land. So there is a strong bond between Islam and knowledge and science. Practicing the pillars of Islam and other Islamic duties will inevitably, we can't really escape it, it will lead to the need to acquire knowledge for the purpose of developing the land and developing the human.